Hey guys, Constance here. Welcome back to the homestead. I don't know if you can hear the crickets and all of that singing. It is actually Thursday evening, and I have spent pretty much the entire day out here working, doing a lot of mowing. I still need to weed eat, but that'll probably have to wait until well, I'll probably have to wait for a few days because I've got a few things going on. We actually had to reschedule our farrier. He was supposed to come last week and had a hiccup with the schedule, and so now he's coming tomorrow to do Sophie and Amos, and so that will be sometime in the afternoon. And tomorrow morning realized that both Mr. Smith and I have to go to the DMV because our driver's licenses are expiring. So we will be doing that as well. Thankfully, you know, we have a little satellite office here in our town for the DMV, so renewing your driver's license isn't that big of a deal, thankfully. So as you can see, I'm on my porch. I'm able to use my porch again. The other day I filmed a little clip of the babies up there in their nest, up on top of the column over there. And yesterday I looked out here and I noticed that all of the birds were outside of the nest, just kind of sitting on the ledge that's up there. And I thought, you know, I don't think they're going to be up there much longer. I think they're getting ready to fly the nest. Well, sure enough, first thing this morning, I looked outside and there was only 2 left in the nest. One was down here in the flower pot, and the 4th was nowhere to be seen. Well, just a few minutes later, came outside because it was chore time. And we were kind of looking for the baby birds because we didn't want our cats to find them. And so we actually found 2 of them out here, like along the sidewalk. So we kind of scooched them into the garden area. That way they would be safe from the cats. So then after a couple of hours, we actually saw them moving their way through the garden, and they had reached the other side and were outside the fence. And so we're like, well, let's go scooch them someplace safe, because again, we didn't want the cats to get them. And one of them I picked up because she was all wet from the wet grass. It was kind of long. And picked her up, set her up in a tree. And Mama Bird was right there watching me. And then all of the others, we kind of, as we moved towards them, they flew off into the trees over there. And so the baby birds have flown the nest, and I'm able to use my porch again without disturbing the baby birds. And thank goodness the mockingbird babies have also left the nest. And so I was able to work out here in my garden today. I could take my sweet time. I was out there working on my peppers and all of that. And I didn't have to worry about being dive bombed by the mockingbirds. And I had mentioned wanting to come up with some sort of idea to keep the mockingbirds from building a nest in that tree again. And one of my wonderful subscribers mentioned something, and I had completely forgotten about this trick. Fake snakes. Putting like rubber snakes in the tree and then like moving them every couple days. Yeah. If they think there's a snake around, they're not going to build a nest. And I remembered when they said that, I remember having seen that for fruit trees, for like blueberry bushes and things like that, that is a trick to keep the birds away. And so I got online and I ordered a 4-pack of some brightly colored fake snakes, and I purposely got brightly colored ones because that way I would know right away that it was a fake snake and not a real snake. I actually know someone not too far from here who reached into one of her bushes because she was pruning, and there was a snake in her tree. And now, I don't mind snakes. They do not bother me one bit. We actually had one out here in the flower bed the other morning. It was just a rat snake. I don't mind them. Well, the snake she came across, however, was a rattlesnake. And yes, there are rattlesnakes here in Alabama. There's also copperheads and cottonmouths or water moccasins. I have never seen a poisonous snake on our homestead. Even though we have the creek back there and the woods and everything, I've never seen one. So I'm cautious that, you know, one could be there. So I don't like to put my hands places if I can't see where my hands are going. But thankfully we've never had any instances of poisonous snakes on our homestead here. So one other thing that I wanted to share with you, yesterday I went and got my nails done in Coleman, and right next door to the salon that I go to is an antique store. I have had several people recently ask me about what antique stores I like to go to in the area, and that got me thinking that, you know what, why don't I just show you guys the antique stores that I like to go to? And so since I was in Coleman, Alabama yesterday, and there just happens to be one of my favorite antique stores right next door, and so here is a little walkthrough of Finders Keepers in Coleman. Hey guys, Constance here. So today I'm actually in Coleman, Alabama. I've mentioned in the past that I get my nails done here. I get my nails done right there at the J. Drake Salon. And last week I had someone ask me about what antique stores I go to the most, and I thought, you know, maybe I'll start sharing the antique stores that I frequent. So there's two here in Coleman that I go to regularly, and then there's two in my town, in Hartselle, that I go to. And so this one in particular is called Finders Keepers Antiques. And they are right here on First Avenue. And there's a train coming right on the other side of those trees. There's a train track. And actually right over there is right over that way is where the mercantile is that I've talked about in the past. So this antique store, it's a two-story antique store. It's the main floor and then there's a basement. So I got permission from the people in there to bring you in and show you around. So this is the main floor, and again it's called Finders Keepers. And so we've got several booths all down through here, and then it kind of comes back around the other way. And then you can go downstairs to a whole nother level that's even bigger than it is up here. So like you saw in the video, that antique store is kind of a two-story or two-level store. You've got the main store upstairs, you know, that's on the ground level, and then you can go down into the basement, and the basement level is twice the size of the upstairs, and so you can find all sorts of things in there. And I will say that one of the things that I notice about going antiquing in Coleman specifically is that you will often find antiques that have a German feel or German origin, because the city of Coleman was actually founded by several German families, and so you see a lot of that heritage in Coleman, and they even have an Oktoberfest event every year. And so when you go into antique stores in the Coleman area, it is pretty common to see some German types of things in there. So that is one of the antique stores that I go to, and I will see about sharing some of the others with all of you down the road. And I did get a couple of things while I was there. One of the things I got, if you saw me looking at that really neat old metal, sort of, not really a filing cabinet, but like a storage cabinet with all the drawers, I brought that home with me. And I will tell you, when I get my nails done, I always take my own nail polish, because if I mess up my nails, I want to be able to fix them. I had just gotten my nails done, went next door to the antique store, and in the process of getting that metal cabinet back home, getting it into the house, and then cleaning out all the drawers and just cleaning the whole thing, I completely jacked up most of my nails, so now I've got to redo them. That cabinet, that metal storage tower, was heavy. Now, I'm pretty strong. I can lift stuff. You know, I've moved railroad ties by myself. I haul concrete bags and feed bags and all that stuff. It's really not a big deal. That cabinet was insanely heavy. I would estimate it, no exaggeration, probably 300 pounds. It was solid. So at the moment it is sitting in my office area. I would like to put it down the hall, like in my bedroom or at the end of the hall, but that is not going to happen anytime soon because our dolly has a messed up tire. It was too heavy to carry. But that cabinet, that tower of drawers, I bought it for a specific reason. And I will share that with you, as well as the other thing that I picked up at the antique store in an upcoming video. But that is it for now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So thanks for hanging out with me here again at the homestead. I will talk to y'all next time.